Neil, this is your 2016 BMW M4. Tell me a little bit about the car, how you got it, and how you like it.
Well, of course, I've been an M fan for quite some number of years. I started off with the E36 M3 that a friend of mine had, and I got addicted there. And then friends have had E46s, I've had E92s, and the various different generations of M3s and M4s.
Yeah.
Actually, the only generation of M4 is the current one. But
right, because they split the M3 at 2014,
yep.
right?
Yeah. I actually got this car. I had an M6 for a while. It was one of my bucket list cars.
Okay.
And after a while, I just like, well, this is just kind of too GT for me. It's not as nimble, it's not as fast as the old M3s were, and so I wanted to get something that was a little more quick, a little more nimble.
Yeah.
But I really like the look of the Shakir orange.
Oh yeah, that's a beautiful color. See, I love the colors that BMW is doing.
Yeah.
So many cars, they just come in boring, grays, tans, blacks, whites. BMW, you've got, what was the name of this color?
Shakir orange.
Shakir orange.
It's like Shakira without the A.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Not quite as much of a booty shake. But anyway, I had an M6 that looked almost exactly like it, and then the M4 was about 700 pounds lighter. It obviously has less power, but it's more nimble and stuff like that. It wasn't like driving an aircraft carrier or anything like that when you're on the street.
Yeah, so it got a better power to weight ratio.
Yeah. So the M6 was interesting. Okay, bucket list, been there, done that. I want to go back to an M4. So this one became available at BMW Portland. I got it 2 years ago. And I like the color, I like the feature set. The only thing I changed about it is instead of the xenon lights, I'd go with the LED lights. That's how I got it. I love the car. It's been fast, it's been clean, been clean. That's really my fault. The car's fault. Fast.
Well, if you love it, you keep it clean.
Right. Yeah, well, for the most part. Yeah, I wash it all the time. That's why I've got the Modesta covering. It makes it easier to clean, and that way I can be really lazy because I don't ever.
Water just rolls right off the ceramic.
Pretty much, yeah. And it doesn't get dirty very easily. And I give it a bath a couple times a year, even if it needs it or not.
So the standard M4 comes with 425 horsepower.
425, yeah.
And this is Dynon tuned up to stage 3, which brings it up where exactly?
If I remember the specs correctly, it's 559 foot-pounds of torque and 552 horse. But that's the crank. So anyway, it takes you from about 475, 480 at the crank to the 552, 559 that I just mentioned. And so that's got the stage 3, it's got the intake, it's got the tune, the piggyback tune system on it, and then also the M Performance exhaust from BMW. So it's not Dynon's exhaust, but it's effectively the same thing.
Okay.
So, and it's kind of a mild tune. It's not 40 pounds of boost on the turbos or anything like that, like it is on a lot of the Subarus and whatnot.
But, well, it comes with, it's twin turbocharged with about 18 pounds of boost from the factory. Now the Dynon Stage 3, does that bring the boost up even more?
I don't remember. It does a little bit more, but I don't remember by how much. It doesn't matter. It just goes fast. That's all I know.
Yeah. All right. Let's take it for a drive.
Okay.
Let's take a look at this interior. We've got some beautiful carbon fiber in here, just absolutely everywhere.
Yep.
So this is all factory?
Well, this is factory. These two are not factory. These things are aftermarket. So this piece right here is factory. This is the accents over on the left side there is, but not the shifter or the surround here.
Okay.
That's aftermarket, way too much money.
Some dress-up parts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. And we've got all sorts of options here for selecting the harshness or intensity of the ride.
Engine, suspension, steering, and then of course you have your backup cameras and your surround cameras as well.
Okay, but the driving stuff is all highlighted in this metallic.
And of course the dynamic stability control.
Yeah.
And then also the shift aggressiveness.
Okay.
On the DCT. Other goodies. It's got the heated steering wheel. It's also got the shifters. Various things you can do in the car. Volume up and down, being able to select the song that you want, as you can see there. The other interior thing is kind of cool here. So if you go into the menu system in this iDrive system, let's say you're going to go to the nav system and you need an internet address, you can actually draw out, 2, 3. 4. Yeah. Anyway, that allows you to navigate the iDrive system. This is actually a really good stock stereo system. I'm a sound guy, and I'm impressed with how good it is. Quick references. You can do efficiency dynamics. It'll tell you if it's charging the battery and all this other good stuff that don't really care about, because if you buy a car like this to be efficient and green, you've bought the wrong car. The nav system will tell you, hey, it's going to take you 2 hours and 15 minutes. For me, that's like, challenge accepted, time to beat. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So sport displays are actually kind of fun too. While you're driving the car, they'll give you your horsepower and torque outputs.
Now it only goes up to 480.
Yep.
So how does that work with the Dynan Stage 3?
You peg them.
You peg them.
You peg them if you hit the right conditions. It doesn't always do it, obviously. Vehicle info, and then settings, and of course now you can set everything like the head-up display.
While we're stationary, can we see the heads-up display?
Yeah, I think
I can see it.
Does it say 0 there?
I see 55 and 0.
Okay, now do you see this?
Oh yeah, there's all the songs.
Yeah, all your songs right up, so that way you don't take your eyes off the road. Here's another interesting thing, that 55, there's a camera in this segment right here that actually reads the signs and puts it up on your dash.
And that's told you the speed limit.
Yep.
Okay.
And it's not done via GPS or anything else. It actually reads the sign.
Yeah.
Of course, sometimes it doesn't always work. It gets confused sometimes. Like if you go by a school where it says 20 miles an hour, but it's not, 20 miles an hour when kids are in session, or if it's blinking, it doesn't detect that. It says, oh, it's 20 miles an hour here all the time. So it's not perfect, but I'll tell you, it's probably does a better job than the average person does remembering what the speed limit is in any given area at any given time. Typical air conditioning and all other stuff. So I don't think there's anything else that's really too exciting. I think that's pretty much the whole car. So why don't we get her for a spin?
Yeah, let's hit the road.
Okay. Yeah, so just push your foot on the brake.
Foot on the brake?
Yeah, foot on the brake. There we go. Okay, you see you're in D1 right there. And so now you're ready to go. You're just in drive mode. You can go, and it's 55 through here, so you can, There we go. Wake those turbos up, tell them hello.
Hello, turbos. I think I am going to lean the seat back a little bit because I got about 1/4 of an inch to the headliner here.
Okay, or you can push it down a little bit. I think it comes with like independent butt cheek abilities. Now what I would do is turn right here.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to brake that soon.
Well, I'm used to a 15-year-old car with,
drum brakes.
Well, they are disc brakes, but they're certainly not the best.
Hit the brakes a little hard. Hit them hard.
Wow.
Yeah,
That'll really
that's
stop
still not
it.
very hard.
Yeah, I went maybe halfway on that.
Yeah. Hit them.
Wow.
Yeah, you're still not hitting them. You're not kicking in the ABS.
Yeah.
So here I'll start changing the settings on the car a little bit. So all right.
Okay.
Now prepare. I'm going to put you in Sport Plus mode on the steering. Now watch what the steering does.
Okay, it feels a little stiffer.
A little harder. Yeah, that's exactly it. You get a lot more feedback. It's a little bit more tense. So we got some twisties here coming up.
Ooh, okay.
Unfortunately, we got a Prius, so you can stay back a little bit, just kind of chill.
Give ourselves a little space.
Yeah. So it says 15 miles an hour, but
that's yellow. It's recommended.
No, that's a moving truck on bald tires on the wet pavement. It's a 30 mile an hour corner. There you go. So now you're in Sport Plus mode. Now when you go around this next corner, I'm going to put you back into Sport mode.
Okay.
Which is not quite as hard. Handles with no trouble at all.
Yeah, it just loves to stick.
Yep. I'd say follow that Prius. I really don't like that phrase, but...
Yes. I guess we're following the Durango, who also decided to turn right out of the left turn lane.
Right. Yeah, that's
got a good feel to it.
I like the pull. It's one of the things I really like about the F82s that I didn't care much for in the E92s was that this actually has torque, has full torque at 1800 RPMs. The bummer about these cup holders in this car is, I got a 40 here.
You got your 40 ounce in hand?
I got my 40, and it doesn't want to fit too well. So you want to knocking the lid off your 40. Yeah, man, you pay this much money for a car, you should have room for a 40.
Yeah, it's a ballermobile.
Yeah, that's right. Gotta have some place for my chains, too. Is that what they do? Is that what the guys do?
Chains?
40s?
Yeah.
I'm an old guy now, so is it 40s and chains? Is it
40s? I haven't heard anybody say that in a while, but maybe I'm not hip.
Oh, okay.
I know there's a rapper now just called 2 Chainz. That's straight up his name.
His name is 2. He didn't think a lot about the name, did he?
Well, it's got a Z at the end.
Oh, okay.
2 Chainz?
Well, that makes it creative, I think. this time what we're going to do is hit the M1 button.
Okay. M1. There we go. Oh,
Okay.
now that's completely changed the heads-up display.
Yep, it also downshifted 2 gears and puts you in the aggressive shift mode. Go, go, go! There you go.
God, I love that.
Isn't that nice? It's a rush, isn't it?
Triple digits with no effort at all.
Yeah. KPH, in case the police are watching.
The most noticeable difference when I hit M1, which it's got Sport Plus on everything, is the suspension really
Go
stiffened
this
up.
way. Go straight this
Okay.
time. Yeah, suspension stiffened up because that actually set the suspension mode into the Sport mode, the driving into Sport Plus, the engine into Sport Plus, and basically everything except for traction control is at the maximum setting and keeps the turbo spooled, keeps the engine RPMs up too.
Yep. And so we give it just a little push. Yeah.
And the great thing about it pulls. When I've had this on the track, it pulls all the way up.
Yeah, all through the entire RPM range, right?
Yep. See how it's nice, even hard pull?
Yeah, and that
holds
was...
holds the RPMs up like that.
It was really only half throttle, and it didn't downshift when I let off. It said, okay, well, I'm ready for more if you want it.
Right. Yeah,
Which
you
I
want to
did.
play? Come at me, bro.
This car, it really, it goads you on.
It does. It's like, oh, you want to play? We'll do a little bit more of this.
That's smart marketing for BMW, because then you get people who don't know what they're doing, and they wrap the car around a telephone pole, and then they got to buy another one. Not my intentions today, by the way.
Good. No, I was hoping you'd be thinking along those lines.
So one thing I'm wondering is, how do you not get speeding tickets every single day with this car? Because now that I've gotten comfortable with it, I'm cruising at 55, and it feels like nothing.
Well, it's novel to you, right?
It is.
So the thing is, I spend a lot of time on the racetrack, so I get it out of my system. I don't really need to speed. I should say I don't need to speed. That doesn't mean well, I'm not going to admit that I do. But let's just say that I've taken liberties with the speed limit before. But good cruising speed for this car is about 65 or 70.
Okay.
Especially when you're going down to Klamath Falls. I've seen as much as 26 miles per gallon out of it.
Wow.
But typically around town, I get between 19 and 20.
That's not bad for a daily driver, especially, it's not a big car, but it's not tiny either, and you've got tons of power and, still getting 20 miles a gallon.
Well, I don't put it in M Sport mode very often. I only do it if I need to, make a move, really quick move, if I need to move around somebody really fast or whatever. But yeah, generally...
Get around a Prius.
Yeah, get around a Prius. Well, you can practically do that in park.
So one thing we haven't talked about yet, this car is equipped with active sound, correct?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I don't know. It's like putting on makeup. I think it's cheesy. I think it's like fake blow-off valves underneath the hood. It adds to the sound of the actual engine itself, and I think, okay, gimmick. I'd rather just open up the exhaust and listen to the natural. I'm a naturalist.
Yeah.
In that regard.
Yeah,
I think it sounds great anyway. That's one thing I do miss about the E92 though. The E92 V8 is just wonderful sounding. It's just music. This is okay, but it's a little more blatty, a little more farty.
A little more characteristic of an inline six.
Yeah, exactly. But I like the way the V8 sounded better. It was more of a metallic kind of a growl to it, which this car doesn't have. So I think Porsche does it, Audi does it, BMW does it. I don't know who else does it. But
Yeah, it seems to be mostly just a German thing right now, but we're probably going to see more of it as cars get quieter, cabins get better insulated, and a lot of electric cars or hybrid cars, people are going to miss that sporty sound. You can definitely feel how stiff the chassis of this car is going around, these kind of banked turns.
Yep.
It felt like one wheel was kind of lifting off.
It does. When you go around that corner at speed, it'll complain. The traction control will kick in and complain.
And how do I put it in park? That's it. Cool.
It's amazing how that works. If you want, I can take you out and put it through its paces with myself a little bit. If you want to do that.
Sure. Yeah, because I'm a little timid, on
That's
public roads with a car I'm not entirely familiar with.
That's okay. I know this car pretty well. There we go. Now it's correct. I can tell if that seat's off by a millimeter.
Yeah, these seat bolsters are really good for keeping you from sliding around.
Yep, they hold on to you pretty good.
Yeah, I noticed it doesn't have any shit handles. So you gotta rely on those bolsters.
And the butt cheeks.
Yep, bolsters and butt cheeks.
Everybody's turning right. Oh. Here they're just kind of asleep at the wheel.
Yeah.
We've been making smarter and smarter tech and dumber drivers, unfortunately. And that's really good. I mean, everybody should spend some time on a racetrack. I mean, not just because it's fun. People say, well, it's just driving fast. What do you care about that? Well, everything you learn on a racetrack applies to everything you do on the street.
Yeah. It's awareness. It's
awareness.
Your car.
It's understanding the physics of the car. It's understanding how to control it in various circumstances. You know what target fixation is, right?
Target fixation.
Target fixation
like
is where
you're looking is where you're going to go.
Is where you're going to wind up going. So what'll happen is a lot of times you get people who are they'll fixate on a given target and that's where they'll go. And so, you know, that's the old joke that, hey, out in the middle of nowhere and there's one telephone pole and, you know, a bunch of people hit it because they go, oh my God, I'm going to hit the telephone pole. Well, as we have a driving instructor out at PIR and say, you know, it kind of sounds like Ross Perot sometimes. He says, now, when you're going off the track, looking at the tire wall, it's not going to help you not hit the tire wall. Well, what happens is people get in a panic and they step on the brakes and they hold the brakes, and then if it doesn't brake, they push harder. Well, you're telling the car to give you more of what it already told you it can't do.
Exactly.
So
it's not going to work out.
Not going to work. But yeah, it's amazing how eye-opening that sort of thing is for people on the track when they get on the track the first time. Is how much more aware of everything that's going on than they more aware than they were before, and how valuable it is. And now it's like, for me, I'm looking left long before I make that left turn. You know, it's just you're going to be doing it, so move your head over there, look over there where you want to go, and you'll naturally go around the corner a lot smoother, more effectively.
Yep.
We'll
my driving instructor in my driver's ed always said, you know, look 30 seconds ahead, because, you know, the stuff that's 5 to 10 seconds in front of you is going to take care of itself.
Yeah, what do they say? It's distance plus time equals options. So if you have the distance, you know, your distance is time, and you have options if you're actually looking at the future. So I'm looking around that corner already over there now, but I'm just barely entering it. So I'm, you know, 7 or 8 seconds ahead. But you just look as far into the future as you possibly can, and it prevents all kinds of problems. It also makes you a better driver.
Yeah. Definitely feel how stiff that chassis is, though.
I'm not pushing it that hard, but
that thing corners phenomenally.
yeah, I remember having a student in a Porsche out at ORP, and we're coming into one of the corners, and I said, "Okay, you can take that corner." He was like over slowing for the corner, way more than he should have.
Okay.
And I'm after 5 or 6 laps of this, I said, "Why don't you give it a little bit more? It'll stick. It'll hold. Trust me, it'll hold." And he was braking way too early. I said, "Don't brake until I tell you to brake," and stuff like that. So I got him going and got him up. He's coming into turn 1. I say, don't brake, and he's like, you can see in his face going, I want to brake, and he doesn't brake, and I said, now brake, and he brakes, and I said, off the brake, and I said, on the throttle, and he does that, and we go around the corner real fast, and then he's like, I didn't know it could do that, and he says, that kind of hurt my neck. Yeah, it turns on a dime.
Awesome, well, it's been a lot of fun, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.